Little vibes.
Little vibes.
Little Christmas vibes. My God.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, go on, people. It's your boy Bailey London back with another video, and I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Big Jest.
Hello, hi. We're
Yes.
here. We're in the building, my bro.
Come on. Jest is my second guest on this show. We're patterning it out and learning what we're learning and unveiling people. But before I ask you anything, I'm going to ask you a dead serious question.
Oh, my days.
It's dead serious. Yeah?
I was expecting something wild.
No, this is dead serious, yeah, and I want you to answer it as honestly as you can.
All right, cool. I'm sitting up for this one.
Listen.
I'm sitting up for this one.
Have you ever, and it don't mean all the time, but have you ever, taken a shit, yeah, and then you're wiping, and then it's it just don't stop. So you just, think, there's no end to this. This won't finish.
Wait, okay. And you felt like it wasn't going to finish, but then you kept going until...
No, but then you just said, there's no end to this. I might have to have a shower later or a re-wipe soon.
Just called it quits?
Yeah.
Nah.
Never.
Nah.
Yeah, me neither, man.
It's me, Bailey TV.
Tell me who Jest is. How did we get here?
Yeah, man. So my younger years was all football. My mum and dad ran a football team in Norbury at the Cannons. So it was like a bit of a staple in the ends that way.
Was you good?
I was good still. I still kick ball now, you know. I'm not the man I used to be though.
Yeah.
My bones and that. My bones and that. My knees and shit. I'm not. Nah, but I still do my thing. Top goal scorer for my team. Eight goals in 6 games at the moment. So.
Wait, what's this? 7 asides?
The Sunday League.
Sunday League?
Yeah, 11
8
aside.
goals?
Yeah.
Average, a season or a game?
No, I've got 8 and 6. The last 6 this season I'm talking about. I've been top goal scorer this 2 years in a row now. But it's Sunday League, isn't it?
Yeah, but Sunday League Sunday League can be, and it can be.
Yeah.
Where in the Sunday League are you?
It's tough. It's tough because everyone's just on smoke. Just kick man down. But the level of football is it's alright. It's alright.
That SC Dons kind of level.
No, lower than that. It'll be
Lower than that.
Yeah, lower.
Are they Sunday League or Saturday?
They're
League?
Sunday League, but I've seen their team play, and the standard of the league I play in is not as high as that. When
did you you're playing football? All these things. Was you rapping back then as well?
You know what? Yeah, I feel like rap kind of ousted the football dream for me. It's I always had a dream of being a footballer. I think most of us did, but I was actually good and had some run-ins with the chances. I could have. Now I'm older. I think big man. I don't think your body was cut out for it. I feel like I would have been one of them injury pro motherfuckers. Yeah. Always injured every week.
You're describing my life.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'll play football now, and I've always got a little niggle or something. I never feel fully. But I get on with it. But it's I'm not trying to be pro, so it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, when I started, I wrote my first ever lyric. How old was I now? I think I wrote my first ever lyric. I was 13, maybe a bit younger than that. I know I was year 7.
You remember the lyric? You do, innit? You don't forget lyrics. Rappers don't forget lyrics, fam.
I do remember part of it still. I was going by Tiny Grim at the time because my older brother, I was his Tiny.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And the bar was I'm Tiny Grim, I'm fearless. I'll break your nose with a bang, I'm careless. Come like Tyson, leave you earless, leave you dazed. Just like Beardo, so don't get it twisted. Just like Fanta, I'll run up in it, something.
From back then?
I was year 7, but...
From back then?
Yeah.
Word, that's your lyrics from year 7.
It's the first lyrics
no touch-ups,
I ever wrote.
No, I've re-ramped it 2022.
No, that's the first lyrics I ever wrote. I've still got the notepad that I wrote in.
Swear?
Yeah, this little... I keep bare random shit. I want those people, I'll have a box of old random shit from school. I don't remember how I accumulated this box of stuff, but I've still got the book I wrote in. Yeah, and then it's a funny one because I thought it was cold at first, but now I thought, you're sitting on this bar, you're thinking, is it though?
It's still spitting it.
It's kind of meaty. I wasn't even spitting at this time. I was doing it in school. You know, in school you have a little music class. Get the microphones out.
Did you used to do youth club?
Not really. I went to the youth club. I went to the Pollards thing a couple times.
But I mean, spitting. Was that a thing for you?
No. My oldest brother probably did. He's closer to your age. He was the one who set the trend in my family. Like he was spitting first and that.
Yeah.
And obviously he's my big bro, and then my other big bro started doing it. I'm like, yo, I try that. I wanna.
Are you better than your brothers?
Now, yeah.
No, yeah, like yeah. Was he better than them back then?
Not when I first started. I was a baby, innit? Like they were better than me at start, and then I took them. I overtook them. Yeah. But I guess I kind of was watching their thing, so they can take some credit that obviously they were before me, so I learnt from them a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm watching them doing what they're doing, and I'm like
Inspired.
yeah. So
I always say that about the younger sibling of any family, fam. Like the younger sibling will always like whatever the elders are doing, he will just get there quicker. Like he will be forced to try it and be better.
100%. My younger brother, who's the youngest out of the four of us, he just like, you know, he's pick up everything from all the older three.
Whatever he wants.
So he's
to do that.
way ahead people his age. He's grown as fuck. So it's like he's been that way as well. So 16-year-old him was different to 16-year-old me.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But it's a good thing. Everyone younger's meant to excel past.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember like the time or age or like where you was at in life when you decided like, okay, now I'm a rapper?
16, I think.
At 16? And that was it from there? You've just believed in it
I've always
since then?
wanted to do it since then. At 16, obviously at 16 I wasn't doing like what I'm doing now, but at 16 is when I'd say the dream of being a rapper overtook the dream of being a footballer.
Okay.
So I was no longer as interested in being a footballer. I was more interested in being a rapper. But it wasn't like I could say it was, I'm going to do this, because you all know that, like, even when I was 15, 16, it was far from a guarantee you could make any money off music. There was like a handful of guys. You know what I'm saying?
And I assume at that age you wasn't making money off music.
Hell no.
Yeah, you had normal jobs.
I wasn't doing anything. I was like, at 16, I was just a student, bro. Wasn't doing nothing, bro.
Oh, what did you do in college and uni, or just college?
I did college, uni, I did everything, you know. I
real?
got a degree.
What have you got a degree in?
I've got a first-class degree in business management.
Well done, my bro.
Talk to me properly.
Come on. But I feel like a lot of people, including myself, I didn't even know. I didn't know. I didn't assume you hadn't, but I just didn't know. And for a lot of people to come and say, yeah, I'd done that as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm a rapper, but I'd done that as well.
Of course. And I wanted to do it anyway, because outside of music, I have all these other ambitions that I have as well, like in business and things. And I thought, you know what? If I have these business ideas and things that I want to set up, it can't hurt for me to know the goings on. That's why I picked the degree that I picked. Because it wasn't like I had a specific career path, like I'm going to go and be a so-and-so, I'm going to go and be a this. It's like I've got all these ideas, and I want to give myself the skills to hopefully be able to execute them at some point.
Of course.
And in my mind, it's like, first get yourself a platform, then execute your ideas.
Okay.
So I'm still working on the platform stage, and then all the ideas, I'll start to try and execute them. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And obviously, you know, like, slightly, it's like, I want to do it for my parents, and like, you know, the ones that like.
Where are you from? Like
Nigeria.
Nigeria. So what are your parents like in terms of like strictness?
That's a good question, because even in me saying that, like, I want to do it for my parents, it sounds like they were strict and on the education thing.
Yeah.
They weren't really. It wasn't like for example, there's a slight difference in the pressure on those type of things depending on your parents' upbringing, in the sense that my mum and dad grew up here, for example. That's to start with. So like, my dad grew up in Brixton, my mum grew up in Bermondsey. They're very understanding of the life we lived, which didn't help as much when you're trying to get away with stuff, because my dad knows what's going on. You can't get you can't sneak nothing past him.
Do you know what, to be fair, my dad, I didn't really hide anything from my dad.
Yeah, neither did I, because we had a close relationship. But like, I could come home, he's like, I can smell the weed on you, you know that. I was like, but he trusted me to know that I'm not lying, like I'm not smoking. My friends do, and
that's
he could smell it on me like instantly, do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was lit though, because it means that anytime man was in situations or whatever was going on, I could run it by them openly, and it's not like, oh my days you got into this, or oh my days you're in this fight, or oh my days this is my dad's that way, I'm pulling up. It's not like they don't understand what is this world that you're living in. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very, the communication was there. I'm tight with my parents. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was good, but in that same sense, what I was gonna say is, like, I didn't go uni because they said to me I have to go uni. It wasn't like you have to Like, I always got good grades, to be fair, but like I was kind of lazy. Like, I'll get my get my GCSEs, but get 3 A's, 3 B's, 5 C's, but like lazy,
mad good, blood.
but like lazily though. Like I didn't try. I didn't. My mum would always be like, you know, if you tried harder, you'd get all A's, right? And I'm like,
looking
yeah,
back,
mum.
looking back as an adult now, do you feel like I could have done better?
She's right.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I got a good balance of getting good enough grades and still enjoying myself. Because I knew people in my school that like their head they absorbed that book. Like they had no fun. Like it seemed like that was their life.
Yeah.
And what happens a lot of time, they get a bit older and they go off the rails a bit sometimes as well. But it's like me, obviously I was one of the lucky ones that could kind of do both and still get away with it because I was switched on enough to get good grades, innit? I just feel like in school, like it's more about like comprehension, I guess. Like if you can understand things, then you can like deliver what needs to be done. It's like you got, obviously there's the memory side of it, but I just feel like when you can genuinely get a gist of a lot of things in school at that lower level, it's kind of easy to cut through in a sense.
Yeah.
Obviously everyone's at a different level. I'm not disrespecting that, but I didn't struggle with it too tough.
Did you do well with like English and stuff like that?
English my strongest subject.
I was gonna say because your wordplay and like your storytelling and that.
Yeah. I got A's in English. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do a degree in English because I didn't know where that took me.
Fair.
And I didn't really see being a teacher.
Do you know, I think a lot of people in school and taking on courses in uni, they don't actually know what. Like they take on courses that have no idea where the course could take them.
Oh, bro, everyone in my uni a lot of time was like, oh, what job? Like, really, we should all be in uni. Like, yo, this is the field I'm going down. That's the field I'm going down. This is the field I'm going down. But really, it was like, yo, what field are you thinking to go down? And what? Like, everyone was still in uni, not knowing what the fuck's going on, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
For
saying?
me, I took the easy route. Like, I didn't want to go college or uni, but I went to college because my art teacher convinced me. Okay. Might as well.
Yeah.
My dad really wanted me to,
Okay.
and that made it happy. And then when I finished college, I was like, I'm done. But I was like, why don't you try uni? And then my college convinced me to enter into like, what's it called, clearance? Into a uni when you don't actually
but
apply.
You can just sneak in through.
And I got in through like the
On
last
the day
minute
thing.
in some graphic course. So I got I got a 2-2. I'm not going to chat shit on the line and say I got a first. I got a 2-2.
No, degree is a degree.
My degree's a degree. A degree's a degree.
What uni did you go to?
Epsom.
Okay.
Dead. Sorry, Epsom. But
I wasn't going to say that, but I've heard it.
Yeah. He's like, okay. What uni did you go to?
I went Kingston.
Kingston. But you know what? I went Epsom, but anything social I did in Kingston.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't stay at the dorms, nothing like that.
You know what? Kingston is not lit now. Like,
but back in the day.
For nightlife and that. But back in the day, it was lit.
Oceana, what's
lit,
it?
bro.
The Works.
Yeah, you had, bro, old school McCluskey's.
McCluskey's back in the day.
I'm telling man, I'm trying to show the young G's now, like, yo, you man would look at Kingston like mad thing going on at Kingston. But when I was 18 to 21, it was lit, bro.
So you done college, done uni, you got your degree. You're 16, you're thinking rap. You're taking rap more serious, or you thinking this is the path for me or a possibility for me?
Yeah.
What did like the time between then and now look like in terms of your music career?
Yeah, man. So over that time, like I said, I was in uni, still trying to make music and still working and still trying to get my first class degree and doing very different things. And I had obviously life happening as well, you know what I'm saying? Going through certain tough things at that time. And it's just a lot of shit going on, bro. But musically speaking, I used to make music with my brothers and whatnot and different things. And obviously we was younger and the kind of landscape of the scene was changing a bit. Our lives was changing a lot. My brothers were settling into their jobs and whatever they was doing, and there's a couple of other brethren we used to make music with as well, and everyone else is going off and it's kids and it's this and it's that and it's that. I feel like come like 21, come 20-ish, 21, it was evident that I was the only one that was still on it. But I was the youngest out of the man them. So it's like when we started making music at 16, our ages ranged from 16 to 20, 21. So I was probably why I was as good as I was, because I was rapping with the older. My older brother was 4 years older than me, innit?
Yeah.
So he's 4 years older than me, but I was like, I'm right there with the guys. I'm on level with the guys straight, and I'm 16, but I'm hanging with the older. But obviously that makes me better as well.
Definitely.
I'm competing with people that's been doing it a bit longer. They're a bit older than me, so I've got to be that bit sharper because I'm the youngest. So by the time I'm like 20, 21, they're 24, 25.
Yeah.
Different stage of life, settling into jobs, and we hadn't kicked off yet to the point where they can say, "Oh, I'm just gonna focus on music." Obviously not, bro. Like it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was clear I was the one who was still on it, and my bros were just like to me, bro, you're the best anyway. Like, so you do your thing, and we support you. To this day, my bros, my mum, my family's always been my little network.
Surrounded,
I ain't really had a team like that outside of that. So like if I'm doing something musically, I'll send it to my bro. What do you think of this? Or if I'm planning something.
Do you ever send him something? He goes, that ain't it.
They've definitely said, this one's a lot better than that one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a thing where I'm not really at a stage where, or humbly speaking, like as humbly as I can say, I'm not at a stage where I'll do anything that's terrible. It's not like, oh bro, this is trash. Because then I would know it's trash myself. But it's definitely like, you know what, that one's alright, but it's not the one. I don't think this is the one you should release as a single. I don't think this is the one that you should do visuals for. I think you should do visuals for this one. Or I don't think or sometimes it's more directionally speaking. Like I feel like this is the direction to go in. Because sometimes being versatile is a gift and a curse as well, because you can do so many different things with it. It's like, which lane do I pick?
See, that kind of brings me to a question, because I want to talk about the rap game later. But like, in watching that, I saw that one episode where Poet was like, you know, when you got grilled.
He tried to draw me out.
It was a bit of a draw. I don't know. Like, obviously, we only saw a bit. And it might have been longer, and you might have said more, and they might have said more.
No, it was longer, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I was thinking it can never have cut there.
Take it on to me.
But like, you was getting heavily questioned on like this whole like TikTok rapper sort of vibe.
And doing the other extra content and acting and stuff.
So, at the time when I was watching this, I'll be real, like I hadn't watched a lot of your music. I knew the track that I was in with you.
Yep.
Not that I weren't rapping. I made it sound like that track.
Man,
that
like
I was
G
in with
Money, you know.
G Money, you know. No, but I knew you from these. This is when I picked up on you. Like when I met you, then I was like, oh, this track, listen to you. I was like, oh, this is sick. Listen to a couple of tracks, it's sick. I saw your TikTok stuff. I didn't really go to the YouTube, but I went to your TikTok and watched that stuff. So I saw this side of you, and I feel like there was kind of like, I don't know if it's just for the show, they're just poking you to get a reaction, like a TikTok rapper.
Partly,
like, what kind of, like, I had a debate with my girl about this. So I just want to ask you, like, what kind of rapper or artist do you want to be seen as? If there's like, I don't have that artist, like, that don't have to be an answer. You know what it is?
I don't have a complex in that sense. I know the music I make is good. But this is the thing, you asked me that, would it affect people taking me seriously? No. I make super serious music, bro. Like, listen to, like, if you watch the rap game show, you know, you hear, I talk on personal things, I talk on serious things. So no one's ever gonna doubt the validity of my music or how sincere it is or how serious it is when I wanna be. But I also have songs where I'm just messing about. It might be in a drill song, there's banter in there, there's like, I am musically who I am in person, bro. So we can sit and have a conversation where we're just fucking around, or we can sit and have a conversation about some deep shit. So my music should be the same, no?
Yeah, 100%.
It shouldn't be like, you'll get man, every track man's angry, every track man's sad. But bro, I was with you, I've known you for 10 years, and you're the funniest guy I know. I've never heard a piece of humor in your music. And I get that not everyone translates their art that way. But me personally, I'm just a creative person, bro. Like, as you know, I write stories, I write scripts, you know what I'm saying? I like to act. I like to do loads of different things. So in my music, I'm not capped either. Like, I'll do different things. And like, as for that, I don't really have a complex regarding that, because it's like, I'm not any of these things, bro. I'm not a drill rapper. I'm not a TikTok rapper. To start with, I was rapping before either of those things existed. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm 27, bro. The first song I recorded, I was 15. Obviously, I was just a 15-year-old kid recording in the bedroom, like the most of us were. But I was rapping, writing lyrics long before that even was a question, a thought in someone's head. So it's not like I'm some 18-year-old that just blew up on TikTok with one song, bro. You go on my Spotify, there's like 60 songs on there, bro. Like, I've got mixtapes and EPs and many releases. So it's like, I don't have a complex that way, because you can do your research. Like, if that's what you think, you can do your research. So nothing
from that conversation that you had on that part of the show changed your...
Nah.
Good.
I found it funny.
Because I was defending you. I was not that my missus was against you, but I was defending, like, I was a bit thrown back. I was like, nah, like, it's a bit weird. Because I feel like you're creative. Like, no matter what, even you call yourself an artist or rapper or whatever, you're a creative. And some people are creative more than just like spitting bars. Some people are visually, as he might have dreams of like, he might also, if he wasn't a rapper, he might have been like making movies or something. So like sometimes people
Maybe
have
I still
different ways
will.
of putting it. There you
I
go.
want to get into YouTube, bro. I'm gonna ask you for some tips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on
I
it
wanna,
right now.
I want to do loads of things, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
But
So
that's
it's
what I'm
like-
saying. I think like anyone who has that mentality that they was trying to sort of portray on that show, like the TikTok things can't be serious. It's like that's kind of limiting someone's creativeness, because we can all, if we all rapping and we're all just taking that, but if somebody can visually, like Rapman puts on all of these things and like stepping out of different boxes using these other
man's
tools.
making movies and Netflix and
That's what I
and
mean,
things.
by using your other tools. And if you can visually engage a new audience on TikTok with like a bit of humor, why not?
I think people, obviously, loads of people limit themselves to one dream, bro. I don't. Do you know what I'm saying? As much as I would love to have a Grammy,
Yeah.
I would love to have an Oscar, bro. Like, not that I'm saying I think that's realistic, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I think I want. It sounds wild, but it's like I don't limit myself to any particular one dream. You could be involved in a movie that ended up being winning an award that was in a movie. You could end up doing like a Rapman, and all of a sudden, if Rapman goes and wins an award for a movie he's created now, who would have guessed that 5 years ago when he was rapping on YouTube? Nobody. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but I feel like the reason why people do that is for their own good, because their perspective of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like people like to box people to make sense in their own head. So it's like, if I put you there and them there and them there and them there, now I've got everything in my head organised and I can understand what all these people are and what they stand for. The minute someone starts to make music that don't sit with the perception they had of them, whoa, hold on, this is not right, because this is not what I know you for. But bro, you're not him. You're just trying to keep him where you want him to be in your perception of him, because that's the way that they understand and like you to be. So then you have to ask yourself, boom, do I care more about what they think of me and where they want me to sit, or do I just want to be a true reflection of what I'm on? And obviously, I'm not the biggest shooter on the road, so I don't have that to keep to, like, oh, he just rapped about shooting 25 man last week. Now he's joking, he's making jokes online. I don't rap about that, do you get what I'm saying? I rap about stuff from the ends and I talk about it from my actual perspective. You'll never hear me on no song say that I did a booting last week or I got my man down. You never heard me say that. Anything I say is a true reflection of something that's near or around me, and I'll dress it to sound accurate enough. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, boom, if that's your persona as the big bad wolf, I get why you can't do those things. But if you meet me in real life, you're gonna get the same me that you got when you saw me fucking around.
Authentic, the authentic.
You get what I'm saying? So therefore, I don't really have nothing to worry about, bro. Like, I'm just keeping it how I keep it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's ever met me and gone, oh, like, you're like, I've expected you to be da-da-da-da, or you're like, you just make me, it's like, oh, cool. If anything, they're like, oh, you're humble, like, I expect you to be more like a, you know, some people, they'll get one little glimpse of something and start acting like a superstar, like, do you know what I'm saying? And flexing on people, and that's not really my vibe. If I'm going through my DMs, like, I like to reply to people, innit? So it's like, but sometimes if it's a lot of messages, it's like, I can't, because it's too many, bro. But I will sit there for hours sometimes replying to people, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Do you, like, okay, I was going to make a video about this, but I'm just going to ask you, because this would be better, because you've brought it up.
Yeah, go on.
Do you ever, like, so I get, if in particular times when I release a video, that's when I'll get a lot of messages. Like, not really in between, but as soon as a video releases. And when that does, I get a lot of messages. And I don't know if you've seen the, like, content I'm putting out lately. It's a lot about, kind of just a bit, I'd say relatable to particular people. So they send me a lot of deep messages.
I get a lot.
Long, and a lot of them. And what happens is I realise that I reply to one, but then that reply turns into a conversation, because you can't really just reply to.
It's tough.
Somebody gives you a lot, like, a lot to talk about or think about. Like, they told you everything. You can't just say thank you, thanks for the comment, or bye. You end up in a deep comment. So what happens?
Sometimes it takes hours.
It takes hours.
And you don't even get that far through.
What happens to me is I end up getting anxiety, and I start not replying, or thinking, is it better that they just don't think I've seen it?
I've definitely had that, whereby the most I had that was after the rap game, because the messages was more than I'd ever had before. It was a crazy amount of messages, bro. Yeah, thousands and thousands and thousands now. But due to the nature of some of the things that I'd spoken about, I was speaking with people that had been through similar things. So now I'm getting people messaging me like quite personal messages and how they can relate to what I've been through. Now I'm having a conversation with them and it's like, I'm thinking to myself, how on earth am I going to get through all of these messages? And there's no way that I can actually have a meaningful conversation with them all, but I don't want it to seem like I aired them. And then like you said, if I reply to them and then they send more messages and I've gone missing, it's like he replied, now he's airing me. But it's not, it's just there's too many messages. So I'm like working through and then someone else is messaging me and it's like, I'm now going to feel like, you know what it is? I don't want them to feel like I'm moving a certain kind of way as well. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't have replied in the first place. So I'm actually having a conversation with someone who's telling me personal things, but then it's like, I don't know. How long does the conversation last for?
That's the thing. It's a real real thing. I feel like a lot of people, especially, you know, when you think about, so as we're talking, like neither of us are like globally known or even UK, like we're just known in a particular.
Working on it.
So, and there's that element there. When it gets bigger and bigger, I guess that will come more and more. But it's a real thing. Like I sit there every time I post a YouTube video, I've had conversations with my girl. I've had conversations with the guy, Kent, who helps me edit sometimes. He's like, why don't you just get somebody to reply for you? I'm like, I can't do that.
I can't do that, man.
I can't have someone replying for me. That's even worse. It's more like there's public comments on YouTube that you got to answer them. Then there's the ones that no one else sees and they're just full and you're like, you read one, you get into a full conversation, I hear you. But it's a real, that's what I'm asking. You seem to have the same thoughts and anxieties I do.
I've had it more now because I've had more connection with the supporters, whereas my previous supporters were just really like fans of my music. But now it's like they understand me a lot better, so the connection's a bit stronger in the sense that the messages, the types of messages I'm getting. So when you're just getting messages, oh yo, you're sick, bro. Your new song's sick. I love those messages too.
They're the easy ones.
But they're the easy ones. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's when somebody says,
it's the
what you said
deeper ones when they've sent me a long paragraph about something personal, that then we're going to get wrapped up into a bigger conversation. And I'm never going to treat someone's serious situation as just a fleeting.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay, thanks, bye. Like I'm going to have a convo with them properly, which is then it's like, now it's harder to keep up. Whereas when it's just a quick convo, your new song sick, bro, love, thanks for the support, boom, boom, boom. That's easy, we can do that. And then they know I'm not airing them and I've responded, but it's easy for me to keep it moving. But now when it's like it's a bit of a deeper convo, it's obviously harder to maintain high levels.
And you also probably have to consider what you say back to some people as well. I'm assuming, because I know what you're talking about from the rap game. I know the conversations that you would have been getting, and sometimes people can tell you stuff where you feel like whatever you say next might decide their next move.
And it's like, you want to be encouraging, but you're not trying to, I'm not going to lie to you either. So it's like when people will hit me and it's like, oh, they kind of feel like, oh, you're handling it so well, like from how you're carrying yourself. And I'm like, yeah, but some days I'm not, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, don't feel like you're watching me thinking like, oh yeah, he's handling it so well, so maybe something's wrong with me. Like nah, bro, this is not that, bro, because I'm just not online those days. Do you know what I'm saying? You've heard my song, sometimes it's not easy, bro, so don't always think about it that way. But then from that split second there, you see how the conversation gets long, right?
No, it's true. I'm with you.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, man.
So chat to me about the rap game. So I asked you, let's go from a different angle. How did you get onto the rap game?
I got onto the rap game. Originally, I'd spoke with one of them the year prior.
What, one of Crepton Cone?
No, it's not Crepton Cone, man. You don't speak to them directly first. They have like a casting team, so to speak.
Okay.
So it's like people apply, innit?
Like a Deborah or something.
so people apply to get on the show.
Yeah.
In my case, they reached out to me, but they will also like speak to people they think will be good for the show.
Let me ask you one more thing before you go on. Did they reach out to you, do you think, because they saw your TikTok stuff? Or because you was a sick artist? Or what brought you? Why did they pick you? Why did they want you? Like, because I often think this, because no disrespect. I'm going to be disrespectful, actually. I'm going to be real. You see, when I watch the rap game sometimes, I'm like, I get pissed off that I think Americans or someone are gonna watch this and think this is the best we have. And I'll be real, when I saw episode 1, I said Jest as one. I said Jest as one. Jest is Jest is sick. And I'm not saying everyone else weren't sick, but like, I'm thinking they're clearly not taking the best from there and the best from there and the best. It's like, how do you get onto the show?
The woman who is my dog now, I'm highly fond of her. She's proper good people's, but the woman who was the main person who contacted me or was like casted me, I guess, for the show, she said the thing that stood out to her was Gulag.
Okay. Your metaphors.
Yeah, she loved that. She loved that song.
Okay.
So I couldn't say if she found that song on TikTok because there's a TikTok of that song that got like a lot of views. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's how a lot of people found the song. Was TikTok did help, but I don't know how she found it.
From the early, did you think I've won this? Be real. You can be real.
No, you know
Do you
what?
chat to any of them still?
I'm cool with all of them.
No, but she's like, are they gonna call you like, bro? What did you say?
Nah.
So like,
but
when you got there, was you like,
the good
the only other guy that was half like challenging you was the guy that you had a clash with?
Oh, Clark.
Clark was wavy as well.
Yeah.
Clark was wavy, but even Clark, I thought he was better than him.
They won't get mad at me for saying this because I said it when I'm there. Like, I thought I was the coldest there. Like, it's not like
Say it with your chest.
I'm not like I wasn't in there like, oh, you guys like. I was in there like I'm the guy, you know. Like I'm not shy when it comes to rapping.
Yeah.
So they knew I thought I was the coldest, but I think my opinion is that everyone's meant to think they're the coldest anyway. And if you don't, you should do better to make yourself better. And that sounds a bit. But if you think your music can improve, then try and improve it. I think I know my music can improve, but at the same time, like I rate myself highly, innit? There was no mistake about that.
No question.
Everyone knew that. Everyone.
The 20K was you already spent it on episode 1.
In my mind, it felt like I don't know. It wasn't like I was concerned that I wouldn't win, but I still understand that there was like more of a pressure on me. Being the more experienced person, the person who's clearly more further.
Because there's onto by your age, innit?
Further along, and it's not even just about age, bro. Because like some of them are 22. Even if I was 22, I'm way more experienced than them at the time.
So I
was writing from when I was 16,
13,
bro.
16.
So like, and not that I was pulling up trees and I was the most famous person, but I was writing and further along in my pen. Even at their ages, I was more experienced than them. So I'm more experienced than them now too. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's not, and that's in specifically writing. Or for example, Clark produces, I don't produce. So it's not like I'm musically more experienced because music is a wide range of things. He can do things musically that I don't even know nothing to do with production really. Not as much as I should know. I just ain't got around to it, bro. Life.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? But because of that, it's like there was less leeway for me to waver.
To fuck about.
It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, okay, cool. You're clearly one of the favourites, if not the favourite, but you're one of the favourites.
Yeah.
But then that means that...
Now there's pressure.
Yeah.
You see, when you get a challenge and it seems like you lot got 24 hours, is it 24 hours?
Sometimes it's less.
Really? You watch the show? So you've seen the edit?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, you lot have got this amount of time to do this.
It's like, put it this way. You might have actually 24 hours until you perform it.
But you got to sleep.
But you've got to sleep. You've got to write it prior. Like, it's the BBC, bro. I can't just run out there and say whatever. Like, they kind of, there's a process to it.
Did anyone like vet your lyrics before you said them?
They look through them, but they let you say what you like pretty much.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, they're not tell you to
take that out.
Nah, it's more like...
Could you have said like, fuck the BBC during one of your lyrics?
Yeah, someone said that on the rap game once before. Someone said that drew out the BBC.
Oh yeah, wait, I remember that.
Yeah,
who was that?
D-Live.
D-Live.
Said the N-word.
Yes.
That's proof, they don't stop you, but it's more like...
No, but you know what? That seemed like it kind of like helped the BBC in a way.
I don't know, what, because they're letting him say it?
Yeah, like, because I felt, when I saw that, I felt like the BBC were backing what he was saying.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
I think, they didn't tell me to change a single lyric, that's what I can say. But they didn't tell me to change nothing, but what they would probably have told me to change if I did was if I come on there and said I shot someone last week, or I'm gonna shoot like if I come on there in a clash and said I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to Clark, they'll probably say, look, you can't say on TV that you're gonna flipping stab Clark. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously I wouldn't say that, but they would probably stop me from saying that, and rightfully so. But in my experience, they didn't tell me to change anything.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, it was it was not a lot of time to write, bro. Like,
Did you ever?
I was quite comfortable, but like I can see why some of the others were struggling.
Do you ever like? Did they ever give you a topic like on any of the challenges? Did you ever say like, your topic is Christmas tree, and did you have like a Christmas tree rap already?
Nah.
You had to write everything like fresh.
Yeah,
Sick,
I wrote everything fresh. There was topics where if you had bars, I guess someone could have, like, for example, the first one, I think some of the man them thought that I pre-wrote it because I had it so patterned. But then later on they saw, like I'm chatting to the man them and they was like, oh, like I thought, like, you know what? I thought you might have had that one loaded, but then later on they see that, right, I really do this. I did it again and I did it again. So it's like, okay, we do it.
I think, as a viewer, I think that, and because I don't know the process of a rapper. Like, so I don't know if I say to you, Jest, I'm giving you 24 hours to write me lyrics about Magnums, an empty bottle of Magnum, like being real specific. I don't know, I don't know, like, I feel like maybe just a rapper's creative, like Jest could be creative, like he's got a song about an empty glass of something else, or he's got a song about his car running out and he could just change the word car to Magnum. I feel like,
not only because I write quite quickly and it's not something I necessarily...
Do you reckon you could write a 16 by the end of this show in your head? If I gave you a topic.
What, on this?
Yeah.
Not whilst we're talking. But like,
that's too much.
If you gave me a couple minutes, I can put something together, but not like whilst having a conversation with you. Not if you want me to be engaged in the conversation.
Yeah. I'll be chatting to you, man.
Yeah, I was zoned out. Yeah, no, like some topics are easier than others. So one of the topics was write about money.
Yeah, and then
that's easy.
Something generically might talk like, about, and you can have ideas about.
I didn't use old bars, but I didn't need to, bro. Like, write about money is basically a freestyle. We talk about money anyway as rappers, so it's like that's easy. But then there was ones where it's like the British challenge, where I meant to write about what's your experience of being British and like
Black British.
Yeah, being a black British person and your experience on whatever that means for you, and how the question was like, how British or not British do you feel? Which is like directly drawing on the balance of being black and British. So it's like, you can't, there's no bars I got loaded for that. There's nothing you could, I ain't got nothing for that, bro. Like, that's too specific.
It's sick, man. Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, you hear people's lyrics, it's particularly yours, and you're like, how did you write? I'm thinking, how did you write that quick? Or is that how easy it is for him? Like, on a norms, like, is he just at home? Like, what should I write about today? Like, you know what I mean? I just write something about it.
When I feel inspired, it is easy. You know what it is? Words are easy for me. So it's like the thing people think is hard is the easy bit. Like word plays and da-da-da-da. It's like, bro, that's just the way my mind works, bro. Like if you hear a word, you automatically break it down into the sections of it and how it can flip. Or how it can be maneuvered and manipulated. It's just the way my mind works. So yeah, the different similar sounds and how the different things sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you say a chair, and a chair sounds similar to cheer, and then you just break the word down.
Similar to what?
If you say chair, like, I was cheering or cheering. And you play with the word. You know what I'm saying? And then you do.
See, I think that's the thing that people that don't rap don't have. Like, see, if you said chair, my related word would be hair. Like, I didn't get creative with it.
No, but then you have hair, and then you have that's the rhyming words, but literally how you break down that word, a slipper to slip or slipper or slip up, and you just have all the different versions of the word. They kind of, the best way is I hear them all at once. It's like I hear a word and the multiple layers to that word all at once. So when I'm writing, it's not like I have to go out of my way to maneuver it.
It's your gift.
It's just naturally how my mind works.
It's your gift.
But then, as for how you structure it and flow it when you're telling a story, like the British Challenge, I'm telling a story, I've started, it's a juxtaposition. You know what I'm saying? It's the word I use. It's like to be British, it's a juxtaposition. One have this, one have that, one have this, one have that. And I'm constantly drawing a parallel. I'm doing wordplay throughout, but the wordplay is the easy part. The story is the part that I'm mapping. And then you're still having a sonically good flow whilst doing it. That again is not something that you think about because the flow kind of comes natural to me personally. I know I have people where it's like, I've met other artists where it's like, I'm going to specifically mad up the flow and I'm going to get techie with the flow and da-da-da-da. I like to do the natural flow that speaks to me on that particular beat. If I don't like it or I don't think it's saying enough, then I'll redo it from a different perspective. But when I first hear a beat, I like to get a little natural, what speaks to me, what pocket speaks to me in this beat. And I usually like to stick to the one that was most natural. Rather than hearing a beat and thinking, oh, how can I make the flow techie on this? I'm not that type of rapper. I don't want to make music like that. I just want it to be as natural to me. And I know a next man can hear the same beat and he's not going to see the same pocket as me. As you can see, there's a time we rapped on the same beat on the rap game. It was a cypher challenge. We all rapped on the same beat. None of them was anything alike. You know what I'm saying? We all was in a completely different pocket on the exact same beat. And that's one of the things I like about music. I'm going to see it from a whole different perspective to you. The bars I write, everything is different.
It's your gift.
Yeah.
It's your gift. It's like, that's what makes you unique in your rap and to be able to do it.
Yeah, so you got to stay in your bag. And not like let yourself get more similar to other people because you're just losing your special powers. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of men are doing right now. You're losing your powers, bro, because you're trying to sound like my man. And then it's like, you already got one of my man. You know what I mean? I was listening to Krypton Corner when I was 16, but I was also writing bars when I was 16. So it's like, I'm not just someone that's listened to these people from the start. I'm also old enough that I've been writing my own bars from those times. I'm obviously a lot better now. But it's always been something that I do. Meaning that what I do now is just a better version of what I was trying to do when I was 16.
This is the product.
Do you know what I'm saying?
The growth,
I've been practicing this, so I'm better at it now, but it's nothing different to what I've always done. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you get the comparisons. Like I said, I've done like the short films, like the one you was in. So, with the rap and drills.
Rap and drill.
Part 3, we're going to have to work on part 3.
What happens in part 3, blood? Because I had to chat to you about part 2, because I was getting violated in the script. And we took all that out, but we didn't get took out because I brought it up. Something happened. Like someone didn't turn up, and you just went, scrap that out the thing, fam.
Hey, he's getting on to me like, yo, why is my guy getting violated in this scene?
Because, listen, part 1, I was on to crud. And let me tell you, like, this is my little intro to rap, The day before I'm learning the lyrics. The day, like the night, not even the day, the night before.
You done your thing though.
I did though.
You done your thing.
I did. I put all the effort into learning the first verse, and the rest was a myth. But the first one,
you done your thing.
I was out there.
The person I need to make sure he gets their bars is Mula. I need to get into him.
Blood, Mula's. Tell the camera. Tell the camera. Tell them what. Wait first. My thing. How did it go?
Hey, Bailey was smooth. I won't lie. He had his bars patterned.
That when you see that video, that clip of me, that's one take.
Bailey was
done the whole thing. Now tell them about Mula.
Mula, he was learning on the day. But I don't think it's like he just didn't learn.
How much battery did he waste on the camera?
He ran out the camera still.
He ran out the camera, blood.
Shout out Mula though.
Big up my guy.
Big up my guy. But next time, Mula, if you're watching this, I'm gonna get you the shit that you need from a month.
Because he's in hospital in episode 2.
Yeah. But episode 3.
So no, episode 2, I was getting violated, and I'm reading the script for episode 2. You gotta bear in mind, episode 1, I'm on crud. I'm just I like this. I like that. So good, I can be this character. And then this episode 2. I don't actually mind getting violated, but I felt like something happened, blood. From episode 1 to episode 2, my guys just turned very moist. You had a script. I'm reading the script.
Why are you mad at
Izzy. I'm seeing Fu Izzy slapping my hat off and saying this, and I'm like, nah, what's going on, Jest?
Yeah. But you know, it never happened anyway. So don't listen to this guy.
I took a little gun back to the head.
Yeah, but you still...
Episode 3, I need to come back on fire, blood.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera. I can't give away the story.
Me and YG need to come back on fire.
I can't give away the storyline, but we'll talk off camera. But episode 3 is loading though. From the short films I was doing, like the one you was in, as I mentioned, people would say, oh, this is like Rap Man, and da-da-da-da. Which obviously, I get the correlation because of Shiro's story, even though musically it's very different, and the style in which we storytell is different. It doesn't matter because you're doing a storytell, you're doing a short film, and he is the most well known for it in our country because he's taken it to the highest heights. Whereas, obviously, I've grown up on different storytellers. You know what I'm saying? As well as Rap Man, from long before that. It was the Ret Scorcher and Bashi song, and or it was that was one of my early ones that I loved. Or like Young's Teflon's told stories before, and there's loads of different people that have done it, including Rapman. But like to the new people, the TikTok people and the younger people, that all they really know in that field is Rapman, and kind of that art outside of him has been dying a bit. Yeah, and which by even people loved it because it was like there was nothing really like that for a minute. Because obviously he's off doing Netflix and whatnot, like flying high and being successful.
Well, that's the path. Like you said earlier, you want to be an actor. Like you're not far behind the person people are comparing you to. That's not too far from where you go.
It's not a bad comparison.
That's what I mean.
His production, bro. His production level is cold. It's cold. It's sick. Like the Shower Stories, they're movies, bro. So.
I feel like you'd be blind not to, someone in your position, someone in like with your creative talents and what you do. You would be blind not to see inspiration from something that you've seen like that.
Of course.
It doesn't mean it's copying, it doesn't mean it's anything. Like, and anyone that compares you in you're copying kind of
I'm inspired by all the people
there you go.
Previous. Of course.
Everything you do is inspired somewhere.
Bloody Pain in Yards doing stories, bro. Like, I've been liking story content from time back.
Yeah.
I'm not one who's afraid to say people's names of stuff that I've watched and I enjoyed their content.
You can be inspired.
Why would I? You know what I'm saying? I love it.
All right, so cool. Let's move on to the. You've won. Yeah. No, I don't even want to jump to You've Won. You're in the finals of the rap game. First of all, how long did you have to write to that freestyle?
Right, so that one we had a lot of time.
Okay.
So during the show, it's like 1 day, 2 days, 24 hours, whatever, yeah. And then after the 5th episode, we all go back to the ends and they give us time, like they say, to go and write your best piece of work, I guess.
Because that's what this has got to be. You've got to tell it can't be something that you just put together.
It's got to be your best piece of work and you get time. So I had like a good month or so to write it. I can't remember exactly how long it took me. It probably took me a lot less than that. They want it to be good, and also the nature of the thing means that the final is not filmed till later. Because obviously they can't film the final mad early. You'd be knowing who wins and that. But I think I didn't take that long to write it though. Like I had way more time than I used. I maybe, bro, I'll be real. I was on the way back from Manny, and I had the first couple bars in my head. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the first thing that come on the track was a voice note from your dad. So like we spoke earlier about like you and your parents' relationship and like their support and like that sort of stuff. And they clearly had like support in your music. Your dad especially, 100%. Like he was pushing your music.
100%.
Like he was pushing it more than you back in 2020.
Bro, my dad was my biggest fan, bro. My mum and dad always have been.
Yeah.
But my first studio sessions, my mum and dad would take me, pay for my sessions, bro. My dad would be driving us to the studio. He'd be sleeping on the sofa. We're just doing what we're doing. Like I'm 14, 15, obviously. It's just, at that point, it's nothing that they know you're going to be successful at or like rich. Because like I said, it was only a handful anyway. But I was just blessed enough to have those kind of parents. Like if it's football, what do you want to do? They run a football club, bro. My dad didn't just get me into football team. He started a football club and had a team for each of my brothers. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the kind of dad that man had. So like with my music was no different. Mum, pops was helping me from the rip, pushing me to like support whatever I'm doing. If that's what you want to do, how can we help? Do you know what I'm saying? So it was always that way. As you could hear from the voice note, he was always thinking, oh, you know, if you did this, or we could try and do this, or we can try and do that. My dad was a mastermind.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. He's always doing something and making things happen out of nothing. Yeah. My dad had made some crazy things happen out of nothing. Yeah. So he was, again, and even in that voice note where he's saying, send me some songs, I'm going to get Kenny All-Star. I'm going to try and see if we can get Kenny All-Star to play. Kenny actually played the songs.
Really?
That's what's not in the voice.
He just didn't remember.
That's not in the voice notes.
Yeah.
No, Kenny remembered.
He remembered?
Yeah.
I swear.
I spoke to Kenny at the time. Yeah, he remembered.
Oh, sick.
Obviously, it's an hour show, bro.
I get that.
Kenny remembered. Kenny remembered. He's like, because he'd been playing the tunes. One of them was a song I did with Tiny Boost, and he's like, I was spinning that song on the show, like. But it's like, my dad didn't just say it. Like he made it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was always trying to make something happen, and I guess that's rubbed off on me and my bros. Mine's always going 100 miles an hour, trying to make something happen. So yeah, it's made me a productive person. Yeah. And my mum My mum's just the goat, man. You know what I'm saying? My mum's there. My parents, I was blessed, man. I was blessed still. So it's like, I was always close to my parents.
Yeah.
And my dad's the hustler. And like, he was like, a large reason as to why I'm as go-getter as I am.
Yeah.
And then my mum's just like, I said this to people before, and then it's like, I know everyone probably thinks this about their mum, innit? My mum's just like the best person I know, if that makes sense. She just, I can't fault her on anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? She just always does her best. Is always kind. Is always polite. Is always, you know, it's one of those people just never let me down.
Puts you first.
Never. I can't think of a time, bro, where my mum did something. I was like, oh, fucking hell, mum, like, or why did you X, Y, Z? Or why did you, I can't believe my mum didn't make it to, or I asked mum to do and she didn't. Can't think of a time, bro. I'm 27, bro. Can't think of a time. So, like, I'm blessed in that sense, innit?
Yeah,
so it's like, it's probably a large reason why, as to why I'm so like level-headed or just like comfortable in who I am, innit? Because I understand having a certain kind of situation at home largely impacts who you are and how you carry yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's you knowing yourself, innit? Because it's like, everything I know about myself, the first person to tell me is my parents.
Yeah.
So you're born a blank canvas, bro. If I think I'm lit, who was telling me I was lit before I could even understand what they're saying? Who was boosting me up to make me think I'm a sick footballer or I can do anything, or my mum? It's your parents, isn't it? So it's like, I understand if you don't have that, you might not have that confidence in yourself just in general. But I was lucky enough to have that, so there's never been a thing that I thought I couldn't do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess, to be honest with you, I guess when I heard that freestyle, that's the first time I'd acknowledged anything. Like, I didn't know your story, because after listening to your freestyle and what you're saying in it, like, you lost your dad. Around the similar time I lost mine. So, but I had met you in that time.
Yeah.
Like, so I was going through something. The time you did rap and drill, I wasn't really active on anything. I wasn't doing other stuff. Muller asked me if I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, come then. It was all right. It was something to do.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing anything else. I wasn't doing anything else because of the effect that losing my dad had on me. But for you as an artist, I guess, well, I don't want to guess, but I'm guessing from the conversation we've had today. When you found yourself in those situations where you're dealing with losing your dad, did anything change, or was it just like a heightened version of what you do naturally, which is you get creative and write about it? Or did you want to just not do it?
I didn't write for a minute, bro.
You stopped?
It took me 3 months to be able to write something, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't do much, you know. But oh no, man, I'm not really like, I'm genuinely quite like a good vibes person. I function better when I'm happier. That's the way I say it. Like, I'm not fully myself if I'm either angry or unhappy, bro. Like, it's not my preset. So I wouldn't say I'm a depressive person or like someone that's like naturally, 'cause I feel like we're all capable of being depressed, but we don't all suffer from depression. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not by any stretch of the imagination someone that suffers from that. But in that time, man was in there, bro. All the way in there. Sometimes I didn't do nothing, bro, for like sustained amounts of time, bro. I didn't want to do nothing. So I definitely wasn't writing or making music.
When you say nothing, do you mean as in nothing musically, or nothing, like, did that spread further than musically? Was you like not going out, not speaking to people, or was it literally I just wasn't writing?
I mean, nothing, bro. I mean, I remember sitting in my bed, like, I don't know, when I'm coming out my room, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And to the point where I was a broken guy, bro. That's the truth, innit? So to the point where I'm trying to hide it from Mumsy. Like, I don't even want to link Mumsy too much, because I don't want her to see man like that. Because obviously, whatever you go through, Mumsy goes through, innit? She's right there with you, innit?
Yeah.
She sees you upset, she's right there with you, as much as she's grieving herself. So it's like, yeah, man, it took me a minute. The first thing I actually wrote was a song for my dad called Superman, which is
that out?
It's out, yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's no video, it's just a song.
Where is it out on?
It's on Spotify and all the rest of it.
Okay.
It's called Superman, and yeah, I wrote a song about him. That's the first thing I wrote, and that's because I wanted to have a song to play like at his send off when we gathered, and and I was like, yeah, I knew he'd want me to have a song for that moment where we went up to give him a send off. So yeah, I was inspired by that, I guess, and yeah, man, it's just one of those things. It's like I said, my dad was there at the start of man's musical journey, bro. Before I wrote a bar, I'm talking when my oldest bro was spraying in the living room, my dad was gassing him up. My dad was the guy, bro. So I'm saying when you got parents that you're proper fond of, it does change your outlook. My dad was the guy. My dad was the guy that I was trying to be like. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just because he was doing his thing and he was like Superman to me, which is why I called the song Superman. But like we was close, innit? And it's like, yeah, he was the guy that I would want to be proud of me, if that makes sense. So when I'm seeing him gassing up my brothers and that partly made me want to rap too. Like, yo, I want to spray a bar and Pops goes mad. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's before I've even written a bar. So yeah, then from the start of it, Pops and Mumsy was both trying to help me do what I was doing, even though it was just, I'm a school kid, innit?
Yeah.
But it's like, right, you want to finish this mission, bro. Like, you started it, he's helped you do all kinds of things along the line in music, and you feel like, yeah, you want to complete the mission. I said this to people that have messaged me before, because like I said, I've had people message me asking like, what's your way of, how do you keep it pushing? How do you get back up and go and do these things when you have those moments when you don't want to do nothing, bro, and it hits you like a wave? And I don't always say, because it depends on the conversation, but one of the things I've said before, which is true to my experience, is that depending on how well you know the person that you're grieving for, always can make it easier or can make it harder, depending on your perspective. Makes it harder because you're so close to them and they're a large part of your life that's now gone, which you can't replace. And it's just this emptiness. Every time you would shout them or you would do, anytime it's like, I would ask, or I wonder what they would, it's like a constant thing. But you know them well enough to almost know what they would say in that circumstance. You can almost have a conversation with yourself from their perspective. I can know damn well what my dad would have said to me at certain times. 100%. I can know what he would have said, bro. And in that same breath, there's no way he'd want me to fall off grieving for him. He'd want me to go and get it back in success. I make him feel good that way, because he would want me, he wants me to go and do my thing, bro.
When did you realise that?
My dad passed in Feb, and I think it's not this year, it's last year, yeah. And I think when I really got a wave of that was about April. And
of the same year?
Yeah. I had a dream about him. I was not feeling nothing. Music, none of it, I swear to you. I was, you have a proper crossroads where it's like, man, like, obviously I'm not really in a great headspace anyway, but I'm like, oh, fuck that, man. Like, all this shit's long, bro. I'm just gonna go on XYZ or whatnot. And then I had a dream about him. I woke up that next morning just motivated, bro. Just like out of nowhere. Yeah. I was like, I'm just gonna get it.
I think you're quite level-headed to like have that realization that soon, because there's something that I've heard a lot. Like going through the same sort of grievance as you. I've heard a lot of people say to me, your dad wouldn't want you to not to be like how you are now. He'd want you to carry on. And I hear that, and it makes so much sense. I agree with it. It just doesn't land for me. It doesn't like help me, or it doesn't like. Do you know what I mean? So when I say that, when did you? Because I feel like with you, the way your mind works, or like creatively or stuff, the way you put things together, where like something like that could be a message that hit you, and you kind of took that early and wrote. Did you write from that? Is that something that helped you write?
And I started writing. I started writing, I think, one of my TikTok stories.
Can I ask you this then? Do you think music helped you it might sound corny. I can't think of a way to say this without sounding corny. But do you think that your music, like your expression of music, saved you in a way?
Without a doubt, because there's many a thing I'll say in a song that I might not say word for word to
That's what I
someone
mean,
says.
yeah.
So it's like you get to get things out there. And it's not like just getting things out there. You know what it is, yeah? Sometimes man's writing, and as I'm writing, I'm making sense of what I feel like by writing. So it's like I'm putting it into words. It's like going to counselling, bro.
Yeah.
And they're explaining to you, and you're saying you feel, and they break it down to you what it means.
Yeah,
it's like, as I'm rapping it, I'm understanding more what it means.
Can I ask, did you go to counselling?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Okay. So that sort of thing, like, I can see sense in what you're saying, because for me, I guess I didn't feel like I could do what I was doing until I spoke about it on YouTube, which took me a long time to do. Like, we're talking 8 months to a year. I stopped for I didn't do nothing for 7 months.
You know what a part of it I think it is?
What?
I think there's this feeling that your world kind of stops.
Yeah.
And you don't really feel like it makes sense for the world to restart without that.
I didn't feel like I could continue celebrating life.
Bro, literally. Like, you don't feel like you can just go on with life.
Yeah.
But then I feel like partly why I made the song Superman is because it's like, I can't continue creating without addressing this.
There.
So it's like I can't create anything else until I've made something that I've spoke about this. I couldn't write something else. It didn't make no sense.
That's so the same. And I feel like for you, like you said earlier, like being able to put it into music kind of masks that you're just talking. Like, it's hard to just talk about how you're feeling, saying you're feeling, because you're thinking, who wants to hear it, and what do they think when they hear
bro,
it?
I watched the thing. You're a strong guy, bro. I could at the stage. It would, for me to speak about it to camera or in that way, it would have taken me a lot.
I think that's just
a lot longer.
But for me, talking to the camera is like you writing about it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. For you, you got there quicker, because like when you thought about how can I address this, you thought I can't do this until I write about it. And writing about something like that, I guess maybe you haven't. Maybe you didn't have to write about that before, because like that wasn't the topics coming up, but this come up, this is your topic, this is how you write. It helped you open up and speak lyrically, but speak about what you're talking about, and then that helps you to move forward. For me, I didn't know how to address it, because YouTube for me was like slapping Muller and LV on the neck. So to talk,
the type of content it was.
It wasn't like something. If I'm down about something, I don't make a video about it. That was never my approach. But for that, I had to. And that helped me, because it was like, this is the first time I'm speaking. I spoke to a guy that was behind the camera. That was the truth. He was behind the camera.
Yeah.
In that video, I'm sat there and he sat there and the camera's there. And he just said, I'm just going to record. We pressed record. And then he just said, like, talk. And then I just spoke. And that was never going to be the YouTube video.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't re-say what I just said there.
Yeah.
So it forced me to speak. And once I spoke, the ball started rolling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was able to talk. For you, like, you're 2 months or 3 months, like, and you're just sitting there. But when you first went to address it, it was like, lyrically, I'm going to talk, I'm going to tell you how I feel in bars, like, that helped you. So, like, I can see just from us two, like, I guess my point is, like, a lot of people, like, might go through something.
Don't have an outlet. And
just talking about it isn't really just, like, a natural solution.
It doesn't always do it.
Yeah.
and I feel like, I think it's partly to do with feeling like you honoured them, in my perspective. It's like when I write a song about him, I feel like I've honoured him.
Yeah.
The final freestyle I did in the rap game is like a statue.
Yeah.
About my dad in musical form.
And he would love it.
That's the way I look at it. It's like it's best I can do is I put a statue outside the stadium for him.
Yes.
And that's what feels good to me. Whereas if you don't have a version of that, it's hard to get rid of the feeling like you ain't. Because if I was a billionaire, bro, I'd make a charity in his name and I'd go around the world, and then maybe, God willing, I'll be able to do that at some point in the future. I'll go around the world helping people in his name. But at this stage, what can I do within my means to feel like I've done something? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the best that I could do. But it's tough. Like you said, it's like going on to enjoy things, and you have this survivor's guilt where it's like you have fun and you're like, how much fun can I really have?
That's what took
Do you know
away
what I'm saying?
sketches from me. That's what I was trying to say in the video.
How
Like,
can
to
I
make a
be this
funny
blissfully
sketch. I can't
enjoying
do that.
myself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had a song. I wrote a song when I was like 21. And my sister had passed when I was 20. I lost my sister. And then song's called God's Plan. And I said one of the lyrics in there is like, how are we gonna have another summer? And that was symbolic to the fact that summer's usually fun and good vibes and da-da-da-da. And it's just like, you have that feeling where it's like, raw, like, all of these things to come when you're meant to enjoy yourself, you don't know if you're going to be able to enjoy them.
Yeah.
At that time, you feel like you're never going to be able to smile again. You're there like, raw, how am I going to even, this is mad. You want to say life's short, you're thinking, brother, life's long, you know? What if I live another 30 years? I ain't gonna see Pops for 30 years. That's a long time. Yeah. And you'd be lucky, you'd be blessings. Touch wood that I lived that long. But at the same time, you're thinking, that's a long time, bro. Life is long. Do you know what I'm saying? All of these happy moments. I ain't got no kids yet. If I do, my dad can't meet them. Do you know what I'm saying? I haven't got married yet, he can't be there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? He starts putting weight on different things. He met my ex. I could never introduce another girl to my dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These other people don't understand these things, certain things. Like, she don't even get it. She's the last girl I'll ever be able to introduce to my dad. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you have all these different things that are just, you can't explain it to anyone if you don't have the same thing. I can explain it to you, but the feeling is one that you have to feel it or you won't know, bro.
Yeah.
So it's very techie, but I don't know. I don't even know. I still don't even know. Like, I'm talking about it like I know. I don't even know, bro. Sometimes I'm just driving and I just think, fucking hell, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just have a day and I'm just like, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then some days I wake up and I feel good, like, yeah, Dad would be proud of me because I just did X, Y, and Z. It's not even always the superficial things people think, but like, oh, I did this achievement and that achievement. But you know, like, as a man, sometimes you might handle a situation in a way that, yeah, no, Dad would have rocked with that. Or like, I might do something where I see him in what I did. You know the ones there, like, because I've been watching him the whole of my life for 25 years that I lived with him, and then it's like, oh, boom, I did something. It's like, oh, that's something Dad would have done, you know. You know, you have the little moments yourself, and that's something he would have said.
Yeah.
And then you might feel a little bit.
Since your dad's gone, do you feel like you feel yourself turning into him?
In some ways, because
Or do you see more similarities in yourself than you
I
used
see more similarities.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm probably the one in my family. My mum says that I look like my dad.
Yeah.
So like, sometimes I look in the mirror and I look like him a bit, innit? So it's like, it's my dad, bro. So like, but like, you start to notice more things. But then also, if you feel like, it's like I had a conversation with my brothers. It's like, boom, your parents are these seemingly immortal beings that, like, these superheroes that are always there in your life. You don't really picture having to function without them, right?
Yeah.
It's just something, especially people that, if you're as blessed as us to have parents that we're close with or very fond of. Obviously, some people don't have that relationship with their parents, I get. But to me, it's like, it goes without saying, we've never lived in the world without them, right? It just goes without saying, but it's the only thing you ever know. And they're these people you always expect to be there. And then when they're gone, it's like the realization that you can't call Dad for nothing. So all of the times where you would go to him for advice, all of the things where Dad would pattern that, Dad can't pattern that. So you have to become him in many senses. My dad was a master negotiator. My dad was a guy who would get things done. If I said, Dad, you know, I'm struggling with X, Y, Z, he'd be like, oh, cool, kid, leave it with me. Let me da-da-da-da. Can't do that.
Yeah.
I have to do it. Or if one of my brothers, I guess I lean on them or my mum, but like, I have to do it, bro. So I have to become him in many ways. Because all the things that he did for me or supported me with, even if it's just a mental or emotional thing, is gone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my mum is my dog. Like, I could talk to my mum about anything. If it was the most personal thing, I need to speak to them on the planet, I could talk to my Marge about it. Do you get me? But I'm close to my brothers as well. I can talk to them about anything too. But you know, it's different when it's Marge. Like, depend on who I go to. It might depend on the topic. There's things I could go to my little brother to talk to him about first, out of everyone. But I have a relationship. I'm close with all my mum, my brothers, all the same. But who I speak to depends on what the issue is. Same was with my dad, though, innit? So that there's certain things 100% I'd have called him to speak about, and then that's not there, bro. So in many ways, it's like, you notice similarities, but you also have the realization that you're him now, in the sense that you have to step into certain shoes and do certain things yourself. You know him or what he stood for / taught you, so you have to keep practicing those things. And God willing, you have kids one day, you've got a job to do, innit? So it's like, it even made me want to be a dad a little bit more. Do you know what I'm saying?
I won't lie, I've been thinking about having kids.
It made me want to be a dad a little bit
I
more. I said it in the Superman song. I was like, made me want to have a couple kids. Like, maybe that'll bring me closer. That'll make me feel closer to him. Like, having kids. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and being a dad and knowing what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope my kids look at me the way I looked at my dad. Like Superman.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I called the song that. But that's what makes me feel that way. It's
Yeah.
like, right, you know what? That's a lasting effect, bro. Like, it's like, if my kids looked at man the way I looked at my dad growing up, then I'm doing a good job, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because I feel like watching you in this interview, who would be watching? Some people might be young rappers, some people whatever, and maybe people losing family members, trying to kickstart a rap career.
Yeah.
That you've won this. What does that? Did you? Has it? And did it feel like has it launched your career? Or maybe it hasn't. Like, did you wake up the next day like, what now? Or did it do mad things for you? Like, how's it helped you?
I mean, being the type of person I am, I always wake up the next day like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, how do we keep it pushing?
Yeah.
But it has done a lot for me. It's exposure, bro.
100%
The work's far from done. I think if you feel like you exposure means you're going clear, then you're not built. You're not
gotta
from
do
the same
something with
school
the
of the
exposure
hustlers
now.
that I'm from.
Yeah.
I think what it is that it's put you in a position to better execute things. But if you ain't got nothing to execute or you ain't got no plan, then you're no better off, innit? You're just gonna be there where more people know who you are. Okay, more people know who you are now. So what are you gonna do? Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, you got this prize. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with the money? What are you gonna spend it on? So it's like, it's put man in a position where, because as you know, we did Rap and Drill before the rap game, and that was doing well. My TikToks, everything was doing well. The short films was doing well. My streaming numbers was good. I've been releasing music on Spotify since 2017. It was 5 years. Last 3 of those 5 years, I've got over 1 million streams. That's 3 years in a row. I'm quite proud of that. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 out of 5 years. So it's like I've been steady building, but it's like, okay, the point is I had a plan. I've had things that I want to do. So now it's like, it's not about, oh, you're gone clear, bro. Like, obviously you're not. Like, I'm not a baby who thinks like, oh, you're done, the work's done, you're clear. It's like, you're in a good position now to do more things. You're in a good position to go through and keep building on what you was building and better execute some of the plans that man had. I got all this music, I got all these ideas, and now I'm trying to execute them more. That's what I'm on. So yeah, it's been good. Exposure-wise, I think it's been good because I ain't done bare things like this where I'm sitting down talking. What that means is, before Rap Game, where people saw me talk and saw how I speak, how I move, what I'm about, they ain't really know what man's like. So it's like, when people know your music but they don't know you, it's a different level of support. Like, it's like, okay, he's good. I like his songs. Oh, he's cold. But there's no personal connection. And when you feel like you know people, you support them more and for longer. So I feel like people know me personally. And obviously not everyone's going to love me, bro, but the people that are going to rock with me and what I stand for as a person,
stand beside you.
they're going to now have enough to go off. Because sometimes you listen to some song and you think, oh, my man's alright, but you think, what they about?
So we can look forward to Rap Game 3, Rap and Drill 3.
Rap and Drill, yeah.
Where G-Money's coming
Fresh
on.
Home 3.
G-Money's got a nice little something in there. Don't violate G-Money in episode 3, you know?
He's in it.
What do you mean he's in it, blood?
I can't give nothing away to the people.
Can I ask one question? Nah, I couldn't have. Don't turn me into a snitch. I ended with the police coming, but I couldn't be a snitch. If you twist it so that G-Money's a snitch, you've made a story that couldn't ever make sense. Cause I was just sitting there.
You was in there, so
that's how I already know it. He's already trying to tell me he's in there.
I'm not saying nothing, but that.
Who snitched?
Why you asking me big questions?
I want to know who snitched.
I don't know. Maybe no one snitched. I don't know. Maybe.
Big up for coming down, Jess, man. It's been a pleasure to have you on.
Appreciate you, man.
It's been a pleasure to hear your story, the similarities, things that you've gone through, things that I've gone through, and hopefully things that people at home or people that are watching this may have gone through and been able to relate to and take something from. Congratulations on winning.
Thank you, my guy.
Although I'm just gonna say it, like I said, Jest has won from episode 1. When I saw everyone and I heard Jest, I was like, there's no way none of these guys can take it because Jest is too sick. So congratulations for confirming that and getting to the end. I cannot wait to see what happens next, especially in Rap and Drill. And G-Money best be on some G-Money shit. I don't want to hear none of this.
Don't worry, he's active. G-Money's active.
No more gun bucks. I best hit you back.
Nah.
Something has to catch
Listen, don't worry about Dre. Don't worry about Dre. But yeah, nah, we'll see, man. Coming.
I've been your boy Bailey London. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. Peace.
He's got PTSD, street trauma, cause he slept in a few traps. How many fiends did he see OD? Got sent to the gulag. Cause he grew up in a war zone, need more dough so the streets get too mad. Bad bees love peas, that man I got portraits, so it's me that drew that. He's got PTSD, street trauma, cause he slept in a few traps. How many fiends did he see OD? Got sent to the gulag. Cause he grew up in a war zone, need more dough so the streets get too mad.